Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back. My face is back finally. Well, thought I'd come on here and do some cosplay videos since I haven't done a whole lot of cosplay stuff aside from my TikTok videos, which I know I did just upload some of the uncensored versions. I am going to be re-uploading pretty much the entire series of the uncensored versions, just because I feel like I just should, you know, I just don't care anymore, so I'm just gonna upload the uncensored versions just so that I can have a more kind of grown-up account, I guess. I don't know. But, so before I get into what I'm gonna be doing today, I'm just gonna do a little update, tell you what's been going on. It's 2020, we're living. I'm doing okay, really, I guess. That's the best words to describe me, is just okay. I haven't done a whole lot of cosplay in 2020, surprisingly, since I've been at home more. So yeah, I just haven't done a whole lot of cosplay. I guess I just haven't been I've been inspired, but I just haven't been up to cosplaying. I don't know what it is, and I think what I kind of needed this year is an emotional break, especially from what's been going on in my life and everything else around the world. So it's been kind of a nice chance to give myself a nice mental break, and that's kind of why I've been taking a lot of breaks on TikTok. I haven't been posting a whole lot. So anyway, before this video gets to be too long about me just talking, and because I'm probably boring you by now, so yeah, today I am cosplaying something Undertale related. Can you guess who? Can you guess who? The man, the myth, the skeleton, the legend, Sans. We are cosplaying Sans Day, because I have cosplayed Sans a couple times. It's been a hot minute. There's not really a whole lot that I need for Sans. When I'm just looking at all my makeup here, really all I have is just my black and white face paint, some highlighters, some other things I need here, some setting powder, setting spray, and some palettes. That's really all I need. I don't have a whole lot. Anyway, I gotta put in contacts, which I will do off camera because it's gonna take me forever. So yeah, to put in my contacts that I finally have. And yeah. Okay, so contacts are in, and I did also prime my face with the Wet n Wild matte face primer. So I did do that while I was gone as well. So yeah, I guess we'll just get into the tutorial. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a tutorial. So yeah, will be a tutorial on how I do my skeleton face paints, face makeup, whatever. Because I thought Sans would be a good example because he's just the OG and there's nothing too special about his face paint or him, really. I mean, Sans is pretty special, but just let me know in the comments if you guys want to see Papyrus. I might do him sometime. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get some brushes out. I think I might start with this brush. And by the way, I'm gonna try my best to list what I'm using each time. This brush, I might not do the brushes, I don't know, because I don't really know what most of my brushes are. I do have a cup of water ready for my face paints. But this is the Creatology makeup, or face paint. It's very similar to Snazaroo, which is what I normally use, and I do have black Snazaroo with me. Don't mind the completely messed up, it's so broken. But I definitely reached pan on that. And the other black face paint I use is the Wet n Wild Paint Post Painters, I don't know. But it is a grease paint instead of a water activated paint. It does stain a little bit, that's what I'll say, is it does stain, and the Snazaroo in Creatology does not stain at all. I mean, other Creatology colors might, but I only have white and black for Creatology, so other than that, I don't know, I'm just gonna get into painting my face. Okay, sorry about adjusting my camera. So yeah, you want to start with a light base. Obviously, this does not look very good at all because I did just use a brush. So yeah, light coats. I like to sometimes go back in And I try not to get my eyes too much because we're going to be painting that with black anyway, so I kind of just avoid going around my eyes with the white. You can go in for a second layer if you'd like. That kind of helps out a little bit. Now you can see brush strokes a lot. We'll get to that. Alright, so I'm just going to add a little bit of another coat just to lighten another coat. I'll let that sit. And then I'm going to get my beauty blender wet. And then what we're going to do with that beauty blender is I'm going to get it in there nice and well. We're going to maybe get it wet a little bit more. Alright. Get it into that paint. And then we're going to start blending. And that will blend out all those brush strokes. Now, when you are blending with that beauty blender, you're more of stapling and doing this motion rather than actually blending, because that will pull the paint up. Now, doing this does also do that. So that is one thing to be careful with, and you want to go very gentle and light when doing that with the beauty blender. Now, you can use other sponges, but I just find beauty blenders a little bit better. I did start to use this sponge, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. And this one, I don't know, I just started using this one because I like it more. But yeah, you want to use a light and a very kind of squishy beauty blender. You don't want to use a very dense beauty blender. Now, I have gone over this a million times because a million people ask me how I get my makeup so smooth and perfect. Beauty blender. So that is my answer that I give everybody. It's that simple. It's just a beauty blender. You can go back and dip into water if you need to, if your beauty blender becomes a bit dry. Because you might just need some more water for that paint to get that paint really on there. Just fix up some spots that you think aren't very opaque. Go into your hairline if you need to. Okay, so once you think you have a nice layer of paint on your face, a nice thick layer, not too thick, but you know, I do like to set it. This setting powder is by Rimmel London, the Insta Fix Matte, and the other one I have is by Maybelline. It's more of a skin tone color, which I don't like to use on the white paint. I'm just going to use my fluffy brush and just pack that on. Don't kill yourself. Don't choke. But this is just one way to set that paint right in. And to just make it all smooth and soft. Okay. So next, we are going to do contour. If I can find my contour brush. Alright, my contour brush right here. I think I might use this one. Maybe I might use a little bit of this one. Blend that out. Okay. Alright, so some palettes I'm going to be using for contour. It's going to be this smoky eyeshadow palette by Academy of Color. I don't know. It has this weird pigment that is magnetic, because when I get fallout, it sticks to the magnet that's in the palette. It's all weird. And the other palette I'm going to use, probably gonna use a whole bunch of these. I'll just list my palettes I have right now. I don't know. We'll see. This is the Color Workshop Gray Eyeshadow Palette. Love that. I mean, I might dip into these palettes. We'll see. I won't listen. If I don't use them. I don't think I will, because it just has a straight. I'm gonna stop rambling. Alright, so I'm gonna dip into this gray shade right there, which does not have a name. And we're just going to contour my cheekbones. Do that. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of my navel bone. What bone is that? Oh gosh, I can't think of what spot that is on your head. Your head bone, yes. Gonna contour your head bone. If the men find out we can shapeshift, they will tell the church. Alright, so we're gonna dip into a little bit of that black shade that's right here. I'm just going to dip into a little bit of that. Just a little bit. Just to kind of darken that up a little bit. Now we don't want to look too dark. Not too much, you know. Then we're going to blend that out a little bit. I think I'm gonna dip into the Color Workshop eyeshadow palette and kind of get into this this gray shadow that is right there. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of that to kind of blend out. I am going to highlight a little bit using this brush right here. This one I can't tell you what it is. This is a eachother brush, and this is my Back to Brazil palette. I absolutely love these two white shades. They're gorgeous. We're gonna do a little bit of this greenish iridescent shade. They're both white, but they have different like iridescence to them. One is a more reddish orange, more a warm toned iridescent, and one is more of a greenish bluish toned iridescent. And it works very well on face paint. I think it's my best highlighter that I have. Like, look at that. I don't even know if you guys can see that on camera. Can you see that on camera? That's amazing. That's gorgeous. And then I might dip into a little bit of these two. This is the Maybelline Master Holographic Highlighter, and my camera's running low, so I'm gonna finish this up. And then this is the Wet n Wild Caught in Your Web. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that too. And yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so we're back, and I still look very weird right now. We're gonna fix that right about now. Sort of. So what I'm going to be doing now is adding in the lines. So how I'm gonna start this, we're gonna start where I normally start is going to the corner of the mouth, getting my Snazzy Black face paint and a little detailed brush. And you're just gonna start corner of your mouth and kind of go up to like where this part of your ear is, or just kind of up through like where that contour is. And yeah, and you're just gonna do that on both sides. So I'm gonna do that over here, try to make sure they're somewhat even. I think I got those pretty even. Not the greatest, but that's okay. It's alright, just go back and fix it a little if you don't like it. And then we're gonna sketch out the lines for the eyes, which I start with the top of my eyebrow here. Sorry if I'm overexposed. Okay, let's try that. So you're gonna start here, and then going to bring that down, and then kind of just follow where your bones actually are. Or you can make them bigger, smaller, doesn't matter. But for my regular sans look, I kind of just like to go nice and kind of wide. And yeah, and then we'll fill in the eyebrow later, but that's the general idea. And we're gonna do that for the other eye. Kind of just start where your eyebrow starts and just follow how big your eyebrow is. And your eyebrow will be that top line. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go with this other little teeny brush, and we're gonna outline the nose eye later. And for my nose, I kind of start, so the line on the right side is normally going to be longer, and then the side on the left is normally just a little bit shorter. And you can, I probably will make this a little bit bigger, but yeah, that is the shape I like to make. Oh my gosh, there, that is the shape I like to make for my skeleton nose. So there, now I have it at a spot that I sort of like it now. Oh, this is bothering me so much because I'm overexposed and then you guys can't see anything. But then I can't see anything because then it's too dark. Okay. But yes, then we're gonna start filling in shapes. Maybe, no, hold on. We're gonna draw in the teeth first. All right, we're gonna start with using this brush here. This little detail brush I used earlier. And we're gonna start sketching out. Now I start at the middle of your lips. And then I kind of do like the middle from the corner of your lip to the middle line that you just made, and doing like a middle line in between there. Doing both sides. And then I do a little another one right in there right before I get to the corner. And then the corner. There we go. Sometimes I like to draw a little bit of a line right on my line of my lips, you know, the butthole, as Sophia Nygaard calls it. And my camera's dying again. So I'm gonna go draw in the rest of these lines and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so while I was off camera, I did finish up the rest of the face. I think it looks okay, yeah. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna do on this side now. So basically all I did, which I might not film this, basically I just filled in this eye, and then I'll show you what I do on the side for the lips and everything, and for that, and some of it I might just chop out or whatever, but you know, alright. So I'm gonna take this off so I can see what I'm doing. Oops. Okay. So I, like I said, just kind of follow what I did. For the lips. And then I go in and just kind of make random lines. It doesn't have to be perfect or even. Just try to make it stop right about where it stopped on this side. So now once you have those lines, you're going to then take another skinny brush or some other random brush, doesn't matter, whatever brush works for you, and just start kind of filling in. Now around my lips I like to kind of just, the kind of hoop line that connects the two lines, I kind of go by like my lip line. I like to make it nice and curved and not just straight. And then you just kind of do that for all the teeth. So I'll get back to that in a minute. Okay, so real quick before I paint my eye, I'm going to show you real quick what I do for over here. I kind of just start and bring a line down or up, whichever way. I mostly like to bring it down. Kind of bring a straight line down, and then I like to go straight all the way over, and then I kind of bring a curve so then it looks like it's more rounded. And then of course I fill that in with black, and then I kind of just fill in this area, kind of cover up my ear a little bit, cover up some of my hair, and then that will later fade into the neck. And then after that I do a little bit of shading. So I just used a little bit of that gray shade from that smoky eyeshadow palette. And kind of just shade all that right there. And kind of shade underneath the teeth a little bit. kind of give them some more dimension. Go into that black a little bit, right around the corner there. Yeah, just kind of fade that out. Do that on both sides. A little bit of that black there. And yeah, then I'm going to fill in the eye and then I will finish up the rest of my face. Okay, so one thing I did do off camera, just real quick, is I did take my setting powder and I one thing I would do with this grease paint if you're going to use it, and this can line it up sometimes, but it's best to do it so then it's not so shiny. That's the problem, is that it gets shiny, it does not dry very matte, it continues to stay shiny and sticky. So what I do is just take your setting powder and just put that over, kind of stamp it on there, make sure it really stays. So for example, I'm going to use it real quick. I'm going to use this brush, dry it off because it doesn't need to be wet. But I mean, if you want it to be a little damp, that works too. And we're going to put a little bit of it here because that's not very dark there. So we're going to let that dry a little bit. You know, like I said, it doesn't really dry all that much. Maybe put a little bit there too. We are going to let it dry just a little bit, and then I'm going to take that setting powder, and just kind of put some on there. And just kind of pat it down and matten that back up and set it in. Okay. Now, one thing I forgot to also add about filling the eye is, see how this side is more dark than this side? Yeah, that's called eyeliner. We're just going to take a waterline eyeliner. I guess you could put this on. I don't know. We're just going to put this. By the way, if you're squeamish to eye stuff, click away, watch something else, I don't know. But you're just going to put that corner of right in the waterline of your eye. You can use whatever eyeliner you want to do this. Just make sure it is a waterline eyeliner, or it can go in your waterline, not like a liquid eyeliner. That you don't want to do. Do not put liquid eyeliner in your waterline. Don't do it. Now this is optional. This part I like to do just because, I don't know, is mascara. Putting a little bit of mascara on your eyelashes. If you have lighter hair, like a blonde, that might help a little bit, but it kind of just darkens them up and just makes your whole eye look darker, and you don't have to, but it's, like I said, it's optional. Anyway, so I did all that stuff, and now I think it's time for eyeshadow, unless you think you need to do any more contouring or anything, but honestly, I think I'm pretty good with the contouring and everything. So, alright, so this is a James Charles palette. Okay. Now I do have the Fantasy palette, which is just a mini version of that. So we'll probably be using both. But I'm gonna first dip into this NYX Ultimate Edit palette, which I do have the original palette. I have the full NYX Ultimate Colorful palette, or whatever this one is. I think that was just the Ultimate, and then this one is just a smaller version of that. It only has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the shades from that palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fluffy brush, and you're gonna get that blue, get a whole bunch of it, tap it off, whatever, and you're just gonna put that all underneath that eye. You can bring it up to like right here, bring it up here, you know, you can go all the way around your eye if you want, but I prefer to just stay on the bottom. And yeah, so yeah, basically just put a bunch of blue eyeshadows underneath your eye. Now you can, if you're, I think I have done gray underneath the eye. I think I used to do that a lot. I think that's what I used to do for regular sands. I don't know. You can do gray, I do that once in a while, but if I'm doing I don't know, I just like to do the blue underneath the eyes. It's just a nice little thing I like to do. Kind of make it look like he's blushing or something. I don't know. I just like it. I just like the blue, okay? It's like fucking, we don't like to be basic and gray. Just kidding. Grayscale is amazing. Getting on the cremated, you know, Jeffree Star palette, you know. Alright, I'm gonna dip into this blue shade right there in the Fantasy palette. Just a little bit of that. Now I like to use a lot of blues when I do this. So I'm gonna also dip into that James Charles palette, which, by the way, is ginormous. I like the Fantasy palette because it's nice and you can take it when you're traveling. But the James Charles palette isn't very good for traveling because of how big it is. You like small so that you can pack more, you know? And then we're just gonna do the other eye. Now, I've never used this palette on a face paint before, so it's working pretty well on paint. Because I haven't, like I said, I've used it in regular makeup looks, but not paint yet. Okay. We're gonna go back to that NYX palette. Dip into that blue. Now I do have lots of other blues, but I think this blue is just my favorite. I'm gonna use a different brush real quick to kind of get right in there. Huh, perfect. Continue to use that to kind of blend out. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna kind of blend that out a little bit. Now, it doesn't matter how much it is. Too much is always okay. You know that. There's never such thing as too much. Now, the neck. Didn't get to there yet, did we? No. Okay, so let's do the neck. So I'm going to use a little bit of this brush, which is another Eco Tools brush. Go back into that black. We're going to use the Snazaroo black, by the way. Dip that into your water. Dampen it off a little bit because you don't want it to be too wet. And then we're going to paint the rest of your ear. Go ahead, paint the rest of your ear. Alright. And then you're going to paint behind your ear and all where you can't see. Get a little bit more water. And then, yeah, just go ahead, start painting your neck. Get right on your chin line there. And my battery's dying yet again. Gotta love it. Hey, I might just record till my camera dies. That's okay. Here. Alright. So then you just start filling in most of that area. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how I do the bone part. I do that before I painted the black. I'm going to take this brush in the white paint. And I'm going to just make a line starting about here. Don't go all the way up because we're going to paint this part black and kind of fade it. Dip in some more water there. And then just draw basically just a big fat line, kind of following where your throat is, like where, just follow your anatomy basically. That's one thing. That's one tip I have. Follow your anatomy. And now I'm not going to go too low. And then you're just going to fill in that whole area with black. Real quick because my camera's dying and I want to finish this. I'm going to... I'll use this brush. Okay, what are we doing? Alright. We're still good. Just going to draw some lines. Then later on you can just kind of brush over them like that. Just kind of even them out with the paint because, you know, I'm just gonna do that. And of course you shade that too, and we will shade that once we have it all painted. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so now normally I like to use that Wet n Wild paint to go over my neck because it doesn't get, like, see how it's kind of grayish? It's not completely black like it is on my face. That's what I normally do, but because I'm going to be wearing a sweater, I think it'll be okay, and I really want to try hard not to stain that sweater, so yeah. Anyway, so we drew the lines on, got that all painted. Where's my brush? So there it is. Okay, so one thing I like to do is get a little bit of that black paint, and right here, we're going to kind of fade a little bit. Actually, I'm going to look in this mirror here. Just kind of give it that little fade. Now, I mostly use a BB blender for this part too. And just kind of fade that out. And so yeah, then you have that. Normally I fade the bottom too, but we're not going to worry about the bottom. I'm just going to take blending brush, whatever, fluffy brush, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go back to that gray eyeshadow palette and just kind of shade up where those lines are. Now, you can put a little bit more detail in the neck, but I think personally that this is just good enough for the neck. And the white paint doesn't have to be like as white as you have it on your face. So that's all fine and dandy. It's not all perfect, but that's okay. We just say okay on the neck. The neck's alright. And yeah, I think we're finally done. Last thing I do is set it in with setting spray. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me just make sure, I'm pretty sure I have everything done that I wanted to do. Yeah, aside from maybe adding a little bit more highlight or whatever, I think I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna set that in the neck. And yeah. Okay, so now, normally I like to use that Wet n Wild paint to go over my neck because it doesn't get, like, see how it's kind of grayish? It's not completely black like it is on my face. That's what I normally do, but because I'm going to be wearing a sweater, I think it'll be okay, and I really want to try hard not to stain that sweater, so yeah. Anyway, so we drew the lines on, got that all painted. Where's my brush? So there it is. Okay, so one thing I like to do is get a little bit of that black paint, and right here, we're going to kind of fade a little bit. Actually, I'm going to look in this mirror here. Just kind of give it that little fade. Now, I mostly use a BB blender for this part too. And just kind of fade that out. And so yeah, then you have that. Normally I fade the bottom too, but we're not going to worry about the bottom. I'm just going to take blending brush, whatever, fluffy brush, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go back to that gray eyeshadow palette and just kind of shade up where those lines are. Now, you can put a little bit more detail in the neck, but I think personally that this is just good enough for the neck. And the white paint doesn't have to be like as white as you have it on your face. So that's all fine and dandy. It's not all perfect, but that's okay. We just say okay on the neck. The neck's alright. And yeah, I think we're finally done. Last thing I do is set it in with setting spray. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me just make sure, I'm pretty sure I have everything done that I wanted to do. Yeah, aside from maybe adding a little bit more highlight or whatever, I think I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna set that in the neck. So yeah, I hope this tutorial helped you guys out with cosplaying Sans and, you know, with skeleton face painting. You know, you can really, like I said, you can really use this for just about anything. Just add your own designs in, add some cracks, add some fangs. You can even wear some fangs in your mouth. I do that a lot. You can really add whatever, you know, change the color up. It doesn't have to be blue. It can be gray, it can be red, it can be yellow. You can change the eyes up, you can do different eyes. I mean, just do it differently, you know? But of course, you know, use your own art style and stay creative. So, yeah. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. P.S. Go check out my TikTok page because I'm about to go make some TikToks, so go check that out.